曾经是地球霸主的恐龙，占领地球约1.5亿年。专家评估，陨石撞击加上火山爆发、气候变异，恐龙最终难逃灭绝一途。
We have dramatic climatic changes. We have extinctions taking place now. These are taking place on a very rapid time scale. And we can look at extinction events in the past, and most of them take place over a much broader time period.
It's important to understand how they changed over time, how they evolved, and what dinosaurs survived the extinction event, because we're currently going through an extinction event here on Earth.
当今全球暖化，生物多样性消逝比恐龙时代更加快速，不论动物还是人类，都可能面临地球第6次的大灭绝。因此，人类想要续命，就得研究恐龙。我们从蒙大拿首府海伦娜一路开车北上，闯入无边际的荒漠平原。烂泥道路尽头冒出一座恐龙研究前景基地，这个区域曾发现大量的慈母龙跟它们的恐龙蛋。
Sometimes they looks like eggshells, but usually eggshells are ornamented on one side. Like these ones has like ornamentation on the surface. One side is, flat.
Yeah, right.
And the other side is like ornamented.
If we're looking for dinosaur nests, we look for eggshell that has been washed out of the hillside, and then we try to trace that eggshell to where it originated from, where it is in the rocks. I think it's like a little water feature. It's a natural cast, so the animal steps into mud. Sand fills the mud, and then the mud erodes back out to mud. The mudstone erodes back out to mud and leaves the cemented sandstone. So it's upside down. And then, so here's the front, this is the 3 toes, and then this is like the heel impression.
我们可以从这个脚掌的 size 呢，去反推这只龙的大小。比如说，他们看见这个大小呢，大概可以到肱骨就有2米左右。那如果算到身体以及颈部的部分，大概有3米到4米之高。跟7700万年前恐龙脚印相比，显见人类有多渺小。Then how do you spot and locate where you want to be?
Yeah, some of it relies on geologists to describe the rocks, and then it's a matter of just sort of hunting. Basically walking around the grounds and looking for bits and pieces that have eroded out from the rocks.
寻找恐龙化石就像海底捞针，没有先进仪器辅助，完全仰赖实地考察，还有经验累积。因此，考古学家随身的笔记本，每一本都是宝。
This is a site we dug prior years. So this is actually the site where we dug. So that's the jacket we created last year, right there. Yeah. So I don't know. It's important to have the context of the fossils. There's a lot of information that you never know what's going to be important.
挖掘地点的坐标跟时间，现场素描绘画都有助于日后重返现场。
I always come out with a rock hammer just for digging, and then if we find something, I have this is an oyster knife, which is good just for prying into the rock layers. It's very tough, and then the other important aspect is to have a brush. The flowing water is a novel.
That's pretty deep down the soil. There should be something.
Yeah, I mean you can see that here's this thing's like bedrock, right?
大雨冲刷加上土地侵蚀，让埋藏地底的骨头慢慢重见天日。不论是恐龙还是古生物化石，他们尽可能带回实验室做进一步分析。
working on here today are the ribs of what we believe to be a pretty large duckbill dinosaur. So what I'm doing is cleaning up some of the tin foil that stuck to the bone as it was glued when it was first discovered. And so really careful not to tear this bone off. Just brush it over. See how we get that dark coloration back? So if you ever go to a museum and you see bones, like real dinosaur bones that like people can like touch and how they're like super shiny and smooth, that's because they've been given a lot of this protective material.
他们正在修复重建鸭嘴龙的肋骨，清除杂质。除了化石本身，还有许多古生物的蛛丝马迹。
Here is a pupae case from a Hymenopteran wasp. These guys would bury into the substrate, create these pupae cases. This is a really good indicator as to what type of environment might be existing at this locality.
I've been working on this nest for 3 years. So they have tiny little fossil poops inside of them. So that makes me think that there were insects inside of these eggs eating the egg contents. There's also traces of fungi inside the eggs, which is interesting. We have very few fungal fossils associated with eggs.
原来研究恐龙不是只有恐龙本身，还有当代生物与环境的关联。
Honestly, going into college, I was like, I know a lot about dinosaurs, but then once I went into college, I was like, I know nothing. Definitely think it's important to understand our Earth's history. Although most people are like, it's done, it's over, there's no need, but it definitely opens up to how life was and how we got to this point in evolution.
What animals is it worth putting money into conserving, you know, versus like what animals don't have a chance? Polar bears are cute, you know, but they're a really recent species, and their entire environment is basically melting around them. And so it's important to look at how dinosaurs evolved and went extinct to understand like how can we help polar bears in the future.
同为当代优势物种的人类，其实跟恐龙面临相似挑战。研究恐龙不只是满足好奇心，更是在灭绝发生的此刻，预判人类未来何去何从。